So, how about that Star Trek? We've got 3 episodes today, no
It's all right.
two-parters. What? It's alright?
It's all right. I was just answering the question.
Well, what do you mean the Star Trek is just alright?
I'm practicing
What?
my understatement because I'm in England.
Okay. So yeah, 3 episodes today, all of which are pretty good. The Magnificent Ferengi, where we get a lot of Ferengi. We get Cousin Gala, and we get Quark, and we get Nog, and we get Brunt FCA. Brunt FCA is pretty cool.
Yeah, don't forget Rom.
Does Rom go along?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For
Needs
some
to be
reason, I don't
7 of
remember him
them.
there. All right, I guess we get Rom as well. So that's nice. And then we've got Waltz, where Ducat goes full crazy again. He's gonna start hallucinating and whatnot. It's gonna be fun. And then Who Mourns for Morn? Speaking of Who Mourns for Morn, there is a TOS episode that it borrows its name from, Who Mourns for Adonais, with Adonais is, I believe, a reference to some old poem, but the episode itself is weird. Who Mourns for Adonais is all about the crew meeting the literal Greek gods on a planet.
Oh, weird.
They just... The Enterprise gets grabbed out of orbit with this big green hand, and then they go and meet Apollo, and... I don't... Apparently the Greek gods were actually just aliens.
It's also the basis for Stargate, of course.
What?
Yep.
Why? Okay.
I'm getting a ton of repeating.
From...
Do you have it?
Who?
I'm not sure.
Do you have it? They have the YouTube up as well as the Discord?
Yeah, make sure
Because I'll
you're...
repeat
If you're in
everything.
Discord, make sure YouTube is muted, because that's gonna be bad. Yeah, I just listened back to the stream. The stream itself is good. No issues there.
That's what it is. I'm an idiot.
It's okay.
It's an easy thing to overlook.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also,
I just needed it for the timestamp.
keep in mind, if you're using the timestamp on YouTube, it's going to be a few seconds behind. Like, you can judge, if you're currently in Discord, I can read you the current timestamp, and you can see how far behind it is for you, because there's a YouTube stream delay. It's at 208, 207, 206,
Oh, we
205.
already started?
No. No, we can see what the delay is for you.
I only keep it up in case I crash.
Okay. We have some good episodes today. Eventually we will watch Who Mourns for Adonais, which is gonna be weird.
Promise.
Star Trek original series episodes are weird in general.
Yes. They were charming for the time.
Different time.
Different time.
Different time.
Oh, what else? Oh, yeah. So in that episode, they meet literal Greek gods, and then there's another episode where they meet some alien who is actually like a bunch of famous people throughout history. Like he was Leonardo da Vinci. Except
Yeah.
Well, they also meet Jack the Ripper at one point.
Yeah.
that sounds familiar, but I don't remember what happened there.
Scotty gets framed for murdering a dude, and it turns out to be the guy who was the voice actor for Piglet.
Okay. No, that episode where they meet Leonardo da Vinci, it's a little odd because we meet Leonardo da Vinci the hologram later, and he's played by Gimli, and he doesn't look anything like him.
That's later in his life, that's why.
I much prefer the Voyager version of Leonardo. Much more fun.
I agree.
Especially since he's
Reese
done his
David
movies.
is, yes.
No, he's excellent. There's a good bit at
Excellent.
camp. 15 seconds, everyone. Everybody be queued up to Season 6, Episode 10, The Magnificent Ferengi. And everybody press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Oh, there's a Jaeger. Right away. We haven't seen a triangle in a long time, several weeks. And there's Morn. Hey, Morn. No triangles in several weeks, but we do get the Jaeger quite regularly now. So I guess that's something.
Here's a question. You know how DLSS works for upscaling?
Yeah.
What if you fed it a bunch of images of starships and sets and things that are high resolution, and then used DLSS on Deep Space Nine?
Yeah, real quick. Noble, I had to mute you temporarily because we have the show audio going through your microphone. We have to... I don't want that copyright strike. Just for a moment, though.
I once did business with the
Oh, still going through.
Yep. Nephew, cousin, stepsister. I think there's only one Ferengi in this episode that we haven't already met.
The Eliminator.
Eliminator.
and if there was a
Noble still got show audio. Just tested it real quick. If you could get that adjusted, that would be ideal.
Maybe he's using speakers.
Ooh. Quark is so noble. He was going to expose their vile deception. All right, let's unmute. Stand by.
You didn't want to destroy.
Yes, no show audio. We're good.
There we go. You didn't want to destroy someone's entire business over
Quill
that
sounds
either.
disgusting. I just
What's
want to
that?
say,
What does?
syrup of squill.
Syrup of squill. I don't know what you mean. Why wouldn't you have some syrup of squill?
Have you guys ever used Mastrap? I bought a Sennheiser wired headset from Mastrap once, and it would feed the audio back through the microphone
She
sometimes.
teleported from
Why?
behind the.
I don't know the way it was wired. Somehow the voltage was leaking through to the microphone. I don't know if it was from the cable or from the circuit board inside, but
There's an alien behind Chief O'Brien. He kind of looks like the one nodding her head in the background. She kind of looks like Saru's sister. What's her name? Sarana? Is that right?
I don't know. Quark isn't happy they're stealing his thunder.
Yeah, he was being all heroic with his syrup of squill. And now,
Yeah.
you know. What do you mean there's nothing heroic about earning profit?
I don't understand that. Providing for your family and your livelihood? That's a
Disgusting.
heroic deed.
A dozen jars of squill. Is squill a bug?
It must be.
No idea.
It must
Oh,
be.
is that a
Who
Nova in the
knows?
background with a Jaeger? It was really low resolution, but I
Is
think
Squill
I'm
a place?
I don't think so. It sounds like it's like minced and blended beetle or something.
Maybe we should check Memory Alpha. Maybe they have more details.
It's probably on memory beta more than alpha because I don't think they
Yeah.
said anything about Squill other than what we've already heard in canon.
Well, they talk about a drought, so while that doesn't preclude the idea of it being pureed beetle.
Also, YouTube folk, if you would like a Topaz Video Enhanced AI DS9, someone has made that. I can't link you to it, but if you look that up, you will be able to find it. Someone already did the whole series to 1080p.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's saying it's from the Squill plant, whatever that is.
Squill plant. Is that just Memory Alpha guessing? Because I don't think they actually said.
I mean, they said there was a drought on some planet. I forgot the name. So I
Right.
have to assume that's where it's actually from.
Balankar.
Yeah.
I think Memory Alpha's just making things up. I don't think.
Well,
This
I mean, if a drought made it scarce, that definitely sounds more like a plant than like an animal.
I
Yeah.
suppose, but Anyway, what does the Nagus have to do with it? I'm trying to remember. I remember everything that happens once they actually get to
Nagus is-
Empok Nor, but everything before that, I'm totally lost.
The Nagus is dating Moogie,
Well,
and
I know that
Moogie
part.
got kidnapped.
Oh, that's right. That's the motivation. Right.
You don't count
okay.
the triangle ship in the intro credits, do you?
No, we
No.
counted it the first time it showed up, but after that, it's just a duplicate.
So yeah, first time seeing of supposed.
Maybe eventually we'll get another triangle ship, but they seem to have just stopped using the model, even in TNG. It's not like TNG and DS9 Season 6 were happening at the same time. They just coincidentally stopped using the model. Where did it go?
Well, if you only counted unique shots, then you'd probably only have like 5.
Because they're
10
reusing
maybe.
the same one.
Yeah. It's a different ship, but it's the same footage over and over again.
Don't worry about
It
it.
doesn't matter. It's a different
That's like
ship.
saying we only have one Excelsior class just because we only have 2 shots of it. Got loads of Excelsiors. No, yeah. There's a lot of reused footage of that. In fact, the Jaeger that I've been pointing out, I'm pretty sure it's the exact same establishing shot of the station as well. And it's a CGI Jaeger. It's not a model Jaeger.
Does anyone else find it funny that Ram, who seems to be Moogie's favorite or closer to Moogie, is less willing to go to go rescue her, risk his life than Quark?
Hey, that's a fair. Yeah, finder's fee. Come on.
It's not
This
really
episode-
signed, and he got a call.
This episode has
Either-
one of my favorite Cisco moments because they just burst through the wall in Cisco's
Oh, yeah.
office, and you see Cisco just sitting at his desk with his hands in his lap, just doing fuck all. Like doing absolutely nothing. It's
He
great.
was having a
Contemplating
vision
his
from the
suspicions.
prophets.
Yeah.
Can't a man just take a few minutes to relax and not do his work? Come on, man. He's busy. Give him a
I would
break.
do that if I was right at this station.
He doesn't need
5
to be
minutes.
constantly working for the full, whatever. He works 16-hour days.
I wonder if Avery Brooks channeled like the feeling of I had to sit in a chair and get makeup, put on a costume for this one shot. And that was it. So he
And he
channeled
got
that
paid.
energy for the expression. Sure, he did.
He came in and he said, "You're doing me in this chair. I'm not going to another chair.
I'm not even standing up.
I'm not even standing up. Let's get this over with."
Oh, let's see what Cisco's doing. He's just hanging out. So are they allowed to do that? Crawl around the tubes like that?
Apparently, because he
Cisco
doesn't
doesn't-
care.
Yeah.
He took a wrong
I
turn
mean,
at
I would
Albuquerque.
think Rom would be able to, since he's in engineering.
Yeah, Rom can
Yeah.
for sure.
So I did notice that Cisco was handling his baseball there.
Yeah, he
So-
had the baseball in his hand.
He was just thinking.
Like he said, it's either a vision of from the prophets, or he was just contemplating his life and decisions.
What's my next war crime?
What's the next thing that I'm going to make a captain's log that I'll delete about?
Come on, he hasn't even deleted a log yet.
That hasn't happened yet.
That happens soon. He's only
Soon, though.
committed some of his war crimes so far.
Right.
We'll get to the rest later. Let's see. He poisoned a planet, assassinated a high-ranking official, or conspired to. He didn't do it himself.
Which one was that?
That was Vreenak.
Well, that's still coming.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just thinking of all
Well-
the different things that he's did throughout the series.
He
Do it. Say it, Nog. Say it. Oh yeah, doesn't he outrank what's his name? Harry Kim already?
No,
is
at
that
the moment
later?
they're still the same rank.
Okay.
They're both still ensigns.
Really?
He gets promoted to a lieutenant in the final episode.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, Lieutenant.
Well before Harry Kim, though.
And then if you go by Star Trek Online, I don't think Harry Kim has a ship in that either, but Nog does.
Nobody.
Well, they only had so many pips to go around on Voyager, okay? So they just didn't have a spare one for.
Yeah, they say like, oh, there's only so many command positions available. I can't get a promotion. What? Can you not be a lieutenant who does whatever Harry Kim? What is his job even? What does he do?
He's scans.
Is he the science officer?
Well, if he's science officer, he wears a yellow uniform, so he's operations, right? He's not
Yeah,
security.
I thought he was
I
ops.
guess. He's not tactical. That's too vague.
He's like
Though,
he's like
He works
Data.
He works with O'Brien a lot.
I don't think that's true.
Oh no, I
I
think
don't
we're
think
talking
that's
about
true
Harry.
at all.
He's not
Huh?
talking
Oh,
about Nog, he's
Harry.
talking
Harry
about
Kim.
Harry Kim.
What is Harry Kim's
Kim is
job?
Harry Kim's station on the bridge is literally ops. He does Data's job.
Okay.
Right, I keep forgetting the Voyager is redesigned to put the ops in the back.
Yeah.
Sometimes when Tuvok is off doing something else, there's someone else, some extra tactical, but Harry Kim just does tactical. They don't trust the extra to do it. He just takes over. Why? Why does Harry Kim do it? What's the tactical officer for? By the Dominion.
The Dominion.
Really missed an opportunity in this episode for once they actually like start
Yes?
trying to threaten the Dominion. They should like
He hung
punch
up
down,
on him.
pull out some whips, and start dancing. You know, real Ferengi. Ferengi war
That was
cries.
a lot of Mirandas there.
That was, of course,
They
the
also have
same
to be
shot
wearing-
as before we retook the station. When they
They
gathered
also
in
have to be
fleet.
wearing like the fur cloaks that they wore in the
Yep,
first episode we see them.
Wait, why is Gayla in jail?
Vagrancy.
Oh,
He
this
didn't
is
do
something I
anything
want to
illegal,
point it
did
out.
he?
Right, vagrancy. So this is a crime that absolutely would not exist in the Federation. They would
No.
not put you in jail for being homeless. They would put you in a home. They would be like, "Here's a house and a replicator."
I guess
Well,
because
no,
he's
I
not a
think
Federation
Ferengi's
citizen.
not part of the Federation, yeah.
No, it's Federation.
But
They
he's
would
not
not
a
put you in
Federation
prison.
citizen.
I think the crimes that he's in jail for are being involved in the shooting fight in the cargo.
Why
bay.
would the Federation have a fine that Quark would need to pay to release him?
Yeah, they don't have an economy like that, so it just doesn't make sense. It's just a situation that serves the plot. But he would never be in prison for vagrancy.
Yeah, it's always kind of like been weird to me how like they pseudo abandoned the whole like enlightened socialism towards like late Deep Space Nine.
Now, to be fair, the whole enlightened socialism, no currency thing didn't really make much sense in the first place. They're probably being more realistic with
For
it here.
goods isn't fair.
I mean, it always made sense to me on Deep Space Nine since it's a Bajoran station and not a Federation one. But
Does cousin Galen not know how to read?
So
How did he not know the pad was upside down?
So I'm looking at this. Apparently, Thalos 4 is where he was arrested for vagrancy. If they're a Federation member, they might have their own laws about that, and the
Wait, did you
Federation
say
might help
Talos or
them enforce
Thalos?
it. Thalos 4.
Okay.
Thalos.
Okay.
Or
There's
Thalos
a big
6.
difference.
So I'm pretty sure Talos for going there has the death penalty.
Yeah.
No. Thalos.
So that would make more sense if they're just upholding other people's laws.
Right.
But if you're a Federation member, they probably wouldn't allow you into the Federation if you had a vagrancy law on the books. Absolutely not, because basic human rights. They can't put you in prison
Yeah.
for being homeless.
I don't know. The Federation has historically been very willing to overlook that kind of thing if it's convenient to them.
Yeah.
Once again, probably appealing to those laws so that they can keep them on our side during the Federation side during the Dominion War. So I guess that hasn't started yet.
Every single word he just said describes himself. A moron, a failure, a psychopath. Is Brunt like a fan of Southern style? Because he has the, I don't even know how to describe that, the thing on his shoulders with the beads hanging down. What is that called?
A bolo?
It's very like Southern
Oh.
rodeo thing.
No, I don't think it was a bolo.
Wait, let's see it again.
Oh, we got
Around
a
his
hint of
neck?
show audio, but I don't know who it was from. Who do I need to call out? All right, 6 Ferengi.
We need one more.
We could. I don't think they're samurai exactly.
No one said they were.
Well, you want 7 of them,
I guess Moogie is 7, right?
technically. There we go. How come the holographic Jem'Hadar are reasonably effective? But the real Jem'Hadar don't do nothing.
Because they put difficulty on hard mode. Wow.
They're only effective against Ferengi, who are the least effective.
What the?
Good job.
If we can't have her, neither can you.
Exactly, yes. How come they're fighting in the cave set, though?
Well, they haven't decided to do Empok Nor yet.
No, they haven't. So I guess the cave is just generic combat scenario.
Yeah.
Supposed to be the prison
Scenario
camp.
5
Isn't it where Picard trained to fight those Cardassians?
Absolutely.
that we just saw yesterday?
Yeah, he trained to fight the Cardassians there, and it happened to be exactly identical to the actual Cardassian base.
Well, that's just great Federation intelligence.
Yeah.
God, they can't. Their practice for combat is a complete failure. Their practice for baseball is a complete failure. What are the Ferengi even good at? Other than. Actually, are they even good at making profit?
Not really.
No, I guess not, because that destroys their society slowly too.
I mean, consistently throughout the show, people tend to not trust them because they're kind of underhanded.
A lot of
Which
people are
isn't
racist.
really
toward
a great
Ferengi.
way to run a business.
You need a good reputation, guys.
Yeah.
In fact, when they early
Does
on in the
Quark
series,
have a
when
black
they discovered
eye?
Quark?
I think he has a black eye.
No,
Yeah.
the
No,
makeup
it's just
around
the
his
makeup.
the makeup around his eyes is always pretty dark.
Yeah.
But one eye looks darker than the other.
Yeah, that's the thing. One eye looks darker than the other, so it makes me think it must be the lighting.
But early on in the series, they did something that I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about?
I'm so sorry.
Early on, Ferengi. What were we talking about? Profit. Oh yeah, reputation. Early on, the Grand Nagus comes to see the wormholes. Like, yes, this is the perfect area to exploit because they haven't heard of us before. We don't have any reputation there. We can do anything we want.
Voyager, it shows that they're bad.
You know, that ship is awfully triangular.
No, that's not the triangle.
I bet they filmed that scene in the scene where they came out of the Jeffries tube at the same time. Like they wrote back to back, like in real life. They filmed that. They filmed that.
Maybe like
All right, Avery, you
five
can go
minutes
home
later. All right, now walk through the door.
now. Right.
Because yeah, Cisco didn't even look like he moved. He still had crossed legs and the ball in his hand, I think.
I don't know if we want to go to Empok Nor to do this. That place was full of booby traps last time.
Yeah, exactly. And wouldn't like it give Nog, flashbacks to when he was being hunted by
Maybe.
Garrick?
Oh, hey, it's Kivan. You remember him. He was from Rocks and Shoals, where he betrayed his own Gem Hadar and got them killed.
Knowing what happens to Kevin in this episode makes the ending of Rocks and Shoals a lot easier to swallow.
Yeah. Well, Kivan's not very polite. Well, no, he's just looking out for them.
Wait, why would he tell him this? That sounds like a reason to now not take him.
Well, they're
He doesn't want to
committed take him
go because they're
anyway.
going to execute him anyways.
Yeah. Torture him, then execute him.
That's fair.
His hope was to live out the rest of the war in a Federation prison where he has food and warmth and not execution.
All right, time to reuse sets.
Wow, look at all this money we're saving. They pulled everything out of the cargo bay and put it on the promenade. Well, I don't know why
Are you
Empok
sure the
Nor is storing
producers weren't
missiles on the
Ferengi?
promenade, but they are.
Man,
If
look
I-
at all
wait.
this.
This stuff wasn't even here last time. Who was hanging out in Empok Nor rearranging the furniture? Where did this all come from?
Well, I also want to know why there's all this supply here left for no one to take. I find this hard to believe that
It wasn't
hasn't
left
been.
here. It wasn't here last time they were at Empok Nor. Someone dropped it off.
Huh.
Is someone living here?
Someone has to be living here or using it.
They're just hiding out in the docking ring until this all blows over.
They're
the
like,
Power
oh
Wraith
gosh,
cult?
Ferengi.
The Paul Wraith Cult will be moving in later. Maybe he's just starting.
Well, how do we
right
know
now.
they're not there now? Well, maybe
They
not.
might be. I mean, Ducat currently is in prison, so it won't be him setting it up.
Well, that's true.
But it could be someone else in the cult.
Look what they did to Bashir's office. Okay, I'm even more confused.
The fact that it has a Federation tricorder?
As well as it's all functioning just fine, so why was this left here?
Did O'Brien bring it with him when he was there to steal shit?
Maybe. They also have a little... What's that ball by Quark's feet? It kind of looks like a Ferengi control ball.
Kinda did, didn't it?
Ah, here we go. Kivan explaining his motivations. And if he really wants to die, we know he has like a chip he can just activate and kill himself. Just kill yourself now, Kivan. You're not getting out of this. Well, you created a holographic gem, Hadar. I wonder if the computer knows about the internal organs. If you want the most vulnerable part.
Have they been able to autopsy them yet?
God, what is with the Ferengi and they're screaming? Why were you... What's wrong with you, Gayla?
4 hours. Come on.
I wonder if they have any of the decorations on Empok Nor, like the fish skeleton hanging from the ceiling.
Run, Pork, run. Man, he is so much more in shape than everyone else.
And how's he so fast? Why did you tip
Well,
over the
Nog went
barrel?
the
It
wrong-
wasn't even in the way.
He's
Nog went
he's
the wrong
30
way.
bars of platinum fast. Because he's got 30 bars of platinum to look out for.
Fair. Nothing motivates the Ferengi more than profit.
Oh, that's nice at least. Thinking ahead. So
Means
why did,
Voyager's approaching.
what
Man,
did they
Quark is
say
actually-
about why the Jem'Hadar can't transport them? I know they said it, but I don't remember what the reasoning was. Tipped over barrels coming to bite
Did he
them.
set up a transport scrambler or something? He did something.
Hey guys,
Aye.
this episode is comedy gold.
Yes, it is.
They're freaking out a lot considering they invited them here.
I think
Well, you
You knew
heard
they
what
were
the
coming.
alarm said.
this guy does such a fantastic job loathing Ferengi, and I'll always remember because even from the first time you watch it, you're just like mesmerized by the episode. But the guy's like, "I hate Ferengi," and he dies.
Everybody hates Ferengi. They're the most hated race in the Alpha Quadrant.
But
Hate Ferengi.
the loathing in someone's voice was so amazing for me as a child watching that.
What are these phase rifles? They're so much different.
That's
Oh,
a lot
God.
of gem. You might be in over
Yeah.
your head here, Nog.
you know what? They might actually hit something.
But it was nice seeing Empok Nor.
How come Nog gets this big rifle like he took to Empok Nor the first time, and Quark just has a little pistol? Why doesn't Quark get a rifle? Rom has a rifle.
One thing that's surprising once you watch it in a critical way is that it takes a long time to actually get here. When you remember it, this is the action-packed stuff that you remember very well.
Yeah, the episode's 2/3 over already.
Yeah, I'm saying though they just got on the space station now, and now they're just talking to the Jem'Hadar. Before that was all training.
No,
Meanwhile, he's-
Kivon. They're not going to kill you. They need to torture you first. They're only here to kill the Ferengi.
But imagine having a hostage who's like psyching you out at the same time. This is such a comedy. Sorry.
And there's Iggy. So Iggy Pop, as I understand it, is a singer. I don't actually know anything about Iggy Pop other than people really like Iggy Pop being in this episode.
He's a Star Trek fan, first of all. Okay.
Sure.
Second, he's a singer.
Okay.
I'm glad we're at
There
that
he is.
point where Star Trek is our number one identity. I've been waiting for this.
We almost had Robin Williams in an episode of Next Generation.
Who is he
That would have been
supposed to be?
interesting. I'm trying to
I
remember.
think he was supposed to be the time traveler from the 29th century or something.
The one that had Max Headroom play.
Yeah.
Dang it.
This is better though. But I mean, look, it's so rare for a show. Right now, we're in the middle of a war, and it's made us cry, but it makes us laugh so much. This episode.
He was gonna play Rasmussen.
Yeah, I just looked it up as well. Berlinhof Rasmussen, which is a name and a half, really. Berlinhof Rasmussen.
Yeah.
Doesn't touch Siddigs.
He's not even close to Siddiq al-Tahil Fadil Abdurrahman Muhammad Ahmad al-Bukri al-Makti.
Nope, doesn't even hold a candle to it.
No. That's not very nice of you, Quark. That's a good counteroffer.
So here's the thing, right? The ship leaves at warp 9, right?
Sure.
Let's assume that it has to come back at the same speed. It's only going to take as long as it's been traveling away when it decides to turn around and come back, right?
Right.
It doesn't even have to leave for very long.
Alternatively,
It could warp 9 for like 5 seconds and they won't be able to see it.
Right.
Right.
But alternatively, it could warp 9 for hours and hours and hours. Then it can turn around, and I'm assuming they can go faster than warp 9. And warp like 9.2 is already 100 times faster than warp 9, so they would be back in no time.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
There's a
The fact that it's 0.2 off doesn't actually mean that it's close to 9.2.
It's logarithmic scale, so like warp
Yeah.
9.975 is like 100 times faster than warp 9.9 already.
Right.
So
right. But
Yeah.
the other thing is though,
Nog,
there's
what are you
you
doing,
have
Nog?
maximum warp, but you also have the time limit at which you can sustain maximum warp. So not all vessels can.
sure, but what I'm getting at is that they only have to go a little bit faster. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? To
Yeah,
make
I
the
hear you.
return trip be almost
For
you
sure.
know negligible.
You just yanked him by
It's
the.
not a little bit
Ferengi
faster, though. It's a lot
equivalent.
faster. Just the numbers only slightly bigger.
I like
Right,
that the Gemini
right,
just
but-
let that whole exchange happen. They didn't care.
Hi, Argos.
Using Star
Oh.
Trek logic, you'd assume that they'd be able to push that extra 0.2, in universe.
Yeah, maximum speed is a pretty flexible thing.
Argos, if your mother was kidnapped, would you pick the 6 of us to go rescue her?
What?
This is a great episode.
They keep saying this, but I really don't think they have any way to verify that either the Jem'Hadar even left in the first place, or if they did leave, that they're not hanging out nearby.
Yeah,
What if they're just
You
in the
assume
other
that
room?
Nog,
Cargo bay.
you assume that Nog rerouted sensors off screen to one of the terminals here in the infirmary, and he's confirming all this.
We're not allowed to make assumptions to justify things that don't make sense in show. He's trying to cheat your cousin after he offered you a very lucrative job, actually. Dude would have been loaded after one more sale. Does Cousin Galen not own a moon anymore? Did it get repossessed?
Oh, Jesus.
Wah, wah.
Let's be fair here. All these people are getting something other than the money that they really needed. Galen got out of jail. Brunt's gonna get his job back. The Eliminator gets to kill a Jem'Hadar.
Except
they
he doesn't
should
get
be
to kill
thanking-
a Jem'Hadar because they all left.
Well,
They should be paying
There's 2 left.
Orc for the opportunity.
let's be fair too. He kept on
That's my
hitting the
favorite
hostage
line of
during
this
practicing.
episode.
Nog gets to be the tactical officer, and Rom gets to save his mother. I mean, that's
Yeah. Everybody gets what they want.
yeah.
Except Kivon.
Kivon got his wish of a relatively fast and painless death.
Maybe. No, that's fair.
It's true.
But then if he wanted that, he could have just killed himself.
He could have.
He didn't want to go to the Jem'Hadar
Unless-
for sure.
Do you think that after he was captured, the Federation removed the implant so that
No,
he
they
couldn't
wouldn't
just
have
randomly
known.
kill himself?
I mean,
Nah, I
Odo
think they
didn't know
would
about the implant. And that happens later when Odo doesn't know about it.
I think he knew about it. He tells him about it, actually. He tells him about it in that episode.
Yeah, but we
like,
haven't
right
had that
before he
episode
uses
yet.
it.
This
Right.
is the 300 story at Thermopylae.
So if he hadn't told Odo about it, Odo didn't know before he told him about it. And if they knew about it already, then he wouldn't have needed to be told, if that makes sense.
Well, I don't know. It's unclear if they
Or
would have known
maybe
about
they just
it or
did a
not.
scan and didn't tell anyone.
Right. You would have assumed they would have done a scan of him. Like, what's this thing and around his spinal column? It's almost like a miniature self-sealing stem bolt.
Nog, how hard could it be to tell if he's dead? Okay. Now I'm
He's
going to be
dead,
spending the rest
Quark.
of the episode checking to see if he's breathing, which he is. There we go. Hold your breath. The camera's on you. Wait. Medicine's a lot different from engineering.
I mean, it comes down to mechanics.
Biology is just applied chemistry.
I mean, like DNA is a replicating machine.
Chemistry is just
I mean-
applied physics.
Yeah,
Correct?
I mean, it'll,
Physics is just applied mathematics.
Mathematics is
It all
applied
comes down
Philosophy. Philosophy. Yeah.
What?
Philosophy is the end point.
This is why I hate-
It all comes down to philosophy.
But nobody cares about
Once you get to
philosophy.
philosophy, anything more abstract is still philosophy. So it's the fixed point.
Yeah, this is why people hate philosophers.
So people consider biology reasonably hard. Chemistry is pretty hard. Physics is really hard. Mathematics is really hard. And then philosophy people just don't even care about at all. It gets harder and harder and harder and then just completely trivial.
Okay, here we go.
The brain. Well, wait, is that foreshadowing? Because
Ooh.
Wow, what a drop.
why would this guy have been talking to the brain?
What the?
Mm.
Mookie, what are you going to do about it? You're a prisoner, Mookie. I don't think she realizes that.
They were clearly negotiating with the brain for refrigeration units.
This guy's like done with his patience.
Well, Iggy's at least very personable here. He's a nice guy, other than the wanting to kill them.
You gotta love Commander Cisco though for pulling through with the hostage trade for Moogie.
Jesus.
Not gave such a great look there.
How much longer do you think the war with the Dominion would have taken if the Ferengi had entered it on the side of the Federation?
You think they
I
could
have
have
a question
negotiated their way out of
using
it? Is that what you're
cadavers
implying?
in such a fashion is so unsettling.
He's just a meat marionette. I mean, what's the big deal?
Ruining the mood, Yelgren.
It takes a special actor to play a Vorta.
Hopefully everybody here has diversified financial portfolios and moisturizes like Moogie. It's very important. Keeps your skin healthy.
She was on a trip to get her lobes lifted.
Which feels...
He's playing co-op now.
Yeah,
Wow, that's a name I haven't
QWOP.
heard in a long time.
My gosh.
Oh man.
How is he doing this without the stimulators attached to his head? Did they implant them?
They're hidden. They're hidden underneath his say on the back of his neck.
Yeah, he has them on. The last shot of the episode is
Oh,
him
yeah, there
walking
it is.
into the wall. Yeah, with the thing on.
Oh. He got to kill a Jem'Hadar.
He found the most vulnerable spot.
The chest.
Dead center of mass.
Yeah. Easy.
Look at this. Iggy. Elgrim just curled up into the fetal position.
So is Yelgren gonna... I know they're taking him prisoner, but is he gonna kill himself like a good Vorta?
Well, it just goes to show that Wayoon, 6 was the only good Vorta? Or was it 7?
Oh.
This also feels like a war crime somehow. I don't think you're allowed to be this hostile in a prisoner exchange. Otherwise, it disincentivizes prisoner exchanges in the future.
You'd have to assume that the Ferengi are bound by some convention regarding the treatment of prisoner exchanges or prisoners of war.
I'm in.
And they treated under a flag of truce, right?
How dare they?
To trade prisoners.
And then took more prisoners. How dare they?
Yeah, and then killed them and took prisoners. To be fair, the Jem'Hadar were probably planning on doing the same thing.
I bet Yelgren would have let them go.
Yeah, it looks like Yelgren was in good faith the whole time.
He was pretty chill about it.
You know, I just have to say, it would have been great if during the episode with the Pa Wraith cult, like, at some point, if they walked by and he was still bumping into the wall.
But he is all decayed? Like partially skeletal?
That would have been dark.
They'd be like, well, there's a weird stench coming from the corridor near airlock 3. Do you know what? Could someone go check that out? And there's just this decayed Vorta.
This is why
humping the bulkhead.
Is haunted. You just gotta film The Shining over there.
I was thinking it'd be hard to vent, but I guess strictly speaking, they could open a window. It would actually vent very effectively.
Yeah.
Get rid of that smell. Might have to replace the carpet.
The last shot of the episode also showed that Ira Stephen Bear was executive producer of the show at this point. I don't know if that's been for a while, but it's Rick Berman and then his name. So he's definitely moved up from writer.
All right, 1 minute to the next episode, Waltz. Which some people say is a character assassination of Gul Dukat, and to those people I say, have you not been paying attention? He's Space Hitler. His character doesn't need to be assassinated, he's just awful.
No, he's a great guy.
Charismatic
just
is not the same
misunderstood.
thing as being good.
He's just
See, everything up till
misunderstood.
this point was misunderstood.
Yeah.
He's a ladies' man. Man.
With,
Yeah,
I think-
now it's just ruined.
with a
I think
bunch of
people
ladies
don't
who
like
didn't have
this.
any choice because he was a genocidal dictator.
Men want to be him. Women want to be with him.
Yeah, I mean, I think people don't like
Yeah,
this
want to
because
be with
it
him.
moves him from kind of still in the grey area to squarely into he's a bad guy now.
There was nothing gray about it. He was pure evil the whole time. He was just charismatic.
I'd love to see someone write an in-universe
Hold that
autobiography
thought.
by
Press play
Gul
in
Dukat.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Okay.
So yeah,
He
I
was
would,
that kind
I would
of-
love
Oh.
to read an in-universe autobiography by Gul Dukat. That
Oh.
would be awesome.
I
Amazon
am great.
said this is
I'm
rated
so
for
great.
violent
great,
and
great, great.
foul
language.
language.
Full language.
In
yeah.
my Star Trek,
Oh.
Okay, my episode didn't start. What time are you at?
30 seconds, 31, 32, 33, 38, 39, 40.
Got it. Perfect.
Yeah, Gul Dukat was a very good anti-hero, and there were times where you could start to believe that he was redeemable, and that just gets
Right.
like shoved out the airlock, so to speak. Now,
Yeah, once he shacks up with the Kai, you know he's done.
I just remember the episode where he's talking about how he wishes he'd killed more Bajorans, and I'm like, yeah, I can't really come back from that. Can I?
Oh, you're in for a treat. If that's the episode you think he's lost.
Yeah, it's this one, isn't it?
Indeed.
Oh, this is it?
Mhm.
Mm.
I kept
Well-
you alive. I'm a great guy. Now recognize me.
So I've been thinking. We know that Gul Dukat called up Kira and said, I slept with your mom. That was the whole thing. We also know that he slept with Kai Wynn, and we also know that Kai Wynn calls Kira my child. Is Kai Wynn
Uh-oh.
Kira's mom?
No.
Secretly.
Is Kai Wen
No.
Kira?
That's kind of
Was Kai Wynn Kira the whole time?
Yeah.
Mm.
From the future.
She didn't
Kira
recognize
from
her
the
with the
future?
Sydney Opera House hat.
Is Kira Gul Dukat?
My question is, why did they even need to elect a new Kai? All they needed to do is have regular communication with Kai Opaka on that weird prison world.
Well, she can't grab anyone's ear if she's on the prison world. That's integral to the job. How come he's still wearing his armor? Does he
It's
have
part
to
of
just
it
work
at
with
this
this
point.
one set of clothing?
It's part of their culture. And if you strip them of their culture, that's just mean.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, when it needs to be
We've
washed,
seen them
does
in-
he just hang out naked in the cell?
No, he needs an orange jumpsuit. You're right.
Right. We've seen them in civilian clothes before, and they should definitely have some type of prison jumpsuit for them. It's not like he just got thrown in prison.
I would like to know, has he been traveling on this starship the whole time?
No, he's being transferred somewhere right now.
Okay.
He was at a hospital, prison, or whatever before. Yeah, there's a little bit of subdued anger there.
Yeah.
He wants to kill someone.
I think
mean-
this is the moment he realized that maybe Cisco was closer to his daughter than he was.
Yeah.
Might have spent more time with her.
But like, if he didn't ally with the Dominion and invade the stations, y'all would be alive right now. So
That's some good shaking, Mark.
Where did the guy go?
Oh, the guard?
Yeah.
He
wasn't
fell on the
there.
ground with the shaking. Don't worry about it. He's out of frame. He felt really uncomfortable with the conversation, so he stepped into the hallway.
Oh, he gave him privacy. Okay.
Man, are we ever going to get another triangle ship?
Yeah, so
Oh, yes.
everyone skip intro.
No, do not skip intro. I know at least one time we're going to get triangle ships. And that's going to be, well, what I suspect, I don't know for sure. That's going to be when Kira makes the blockade around the moon. Derna.
There's gonna be a lot of triangles up there.
Oh no, they're not triangle ships. I don't think they're those like boomerang things.
Most of them are like the weird raiders they have, but there might be at least one triangle in that little fleet.
Boomerangs?
I don't know what he's talking about.
When you say that, I think of Ferengi ships.
yeah, Marauders they're called.
I mean, if you turn the quality
impulse
rating down on
ships.
your Netflix or wherever you're watching this, everything becomes triangle ships.
Right. The impulse ships, they're kind of like a crescent shape. Like their wings are arced downwards, I think.
So how about that weather? It's been pretty foggy recently.
Dark, rainy, and I love it.
Windy.
It's actually really nice outside, but the pollen is out of control.
Oh, there's that same
another
shot of the Jaeger
your
again.
favorite ship.
The exact same shot.
Well, it's earlier in the shot because the Jaeger was on the other side of the decking pylon.
Yes.
In the previous
they
made
shot. One long panning shot of the Jaeger in the station,
and we just get
different bits of it. We've seen that segment before.
But Chuck Yeager was the first man to break the speed of sound.
He's also a really ugly ship.
Well, it's a good sounding ship, not a good looking.
Also a pretty good spirit.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what, Ryan?
Yes. No, actually. What do I know?
I'm posting a picture in general chat. This is the ship I was talking about being a boomerang, but if you look in the background, you might see...
Oh, no, I don't want the spoilers.
Oh, no spoilers. Don't look. Never mind. Here, I'll delete it.
Don't you tell... It needs to be a surprise. Triangle ships are supposed to be a surprise. No pre-watching, no searching beforehand.
All right, this is the ship I was talking about, and only the ship I was talking about.
That's a weird looking
D.
ship.
Moore wrote this episode.
Looks kind of Klingon, actually.
But look, it's kind of boomerangy, don't you think?
A little bit.
Ronald D. Moore also did Battlestar Galactica, which Ryan's watching right now.
Here's the ship that I linked in Discord for the people on YouTube. It looks kind of bird of prey from the front. Not 1 second longer. Not a single second.
Or less, even. It has to be exactly 52 hours.
No more, no less. 3 shall be the number of days thou shalt search, and the number of days of searching shall be 3.
Oh wait, what happened? We went from being in the cell to this how?
That's going to be explained right now. Though it's whether you believe Gul Dukat that this is an accurate assessment.
I don't know why they never were able to make the Defiant faster.
I believe Gul Dukat. He's an upstanding guy.
Where Lieutenant McConnell and I found... He killed Lieutenant McConnell, didn't he?
Probably.
A piece of shrapnel, you say? No, I don't believe it. No.
Well-
Golden Cock killed Lieutenant McConnell.
Maybe
I mean,
a
it
piece
could have
of
been a piece of
shrapnel.
shrapnel, yeah.
It's just that it was also held by dude.
It was
True.
propelled by Goldukat.
Yes.
It's probably not entirely lying.
Yeah, he took a piece of shrapnel and used it like a knife.
I mean, he was
Happened
likely
through the heart.
injured, and Ducat just used the piece of shrapnel to kill him.
Yeah, just put him out of his misery.
Yeah.
Like he's just on the ground and there's a piece. It's just a flesh wound, and he's like, "Oh, I'm okay. It's just a flesh wound." And he comes over and goes, "Oh, let me take a look at it." And he just shoves it deeper. He's like, "Oh, let me help you." That's exactly
Oh.
what he would do.
That should come right
Yeah.
out.
The doctors always say don't pull it out, so push it in must be the thing you should do.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
That's some good medicine.
Yeah.
He'd probably be like, "Oh,
I'm online.
I'm afraid you've spoiled your uniform."
That's
How
true.
come they're not hanging out in the shuttle, though? Why are they in a cave?
I think it's hot outside.
How did he shape that cast?
Very well. Thanks for asking.
He's a metallurgist.
I don't know. Maybe is the replicator still working? How is it even
Why can't you
attached?
just replicate him a new bone?
That thing looks like it's made of metal. Did he rivet it together?
Yeah.
Like he made two
So-
halves and connected it? He welded it shut?
Yeah.
What's happening?
He used some shrapnel.
Shrapnel, the
So-
answer to everything would duel the cut.
He's good with shrapnel.
I always imagine it's like this. It's like a
Uses that
foil?
Crazy eye.
It's like a foil with a kind of like a quilt pattern on it. On the other side, it's like fiberglass impregnated with resin. So like once you break the seal, it starts to set, and you just wrap it around the bone, and then he puts that like cage on it, and then it hardens, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's an interesting material.
Is it immediately revealed that this is a hallucination? I think it is.
It's implied, but they don't make it clear. Actually,
They actually do a good job of making it seem like this
Yeah.
could be him.
yeah.
Oh, will
By the
you
way-
be nice? Come on, he's been through a lot, this Space Hitler.
If I ever go crazy, I do want Jeffrey Combs in my head like this.
It can't be Jeffrey Combs. I don't care which version of him. Just any of them.
I would
I
want
don't care-
Shran. I would want Shran.
I don't care if it's the Question from Justice League. I'll take it.
Yep, here's
I
the
would
reveal.
I would enjoy my insanity quite a bit.
Hallucination, Jeffrey Combs. What is that? Is that soup?
Broth.
What did he put in it? Does he have dirt?
Special
Is it
brew.
dirt soup?
Maybe-
The ensign
hey,
that came
maybe-
with him.
Oh, that's Lieutenant McConnell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Gotta get the
dear.
nutrients and protein somehow, right?
Where did
He
he
was
find
spitting out the
an
shrapnel,
animal to
that's
hunt?
why he
Where did he
spit.
get this meat? Don't worry about it, Ben.
It's a strange
It's
meat.
ration.
Oh, he definitely spit in that soup.
What do you mean? He's such a nice guy.
Like
Really? But he
like
was
the
a
security
gull.
guard that he killed.
Man, the gaslighting's real in this episode.
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume this bout of nausea didn't happen. Why don't you appreciate me, Ben? That's a bit of an odd line the emissary has spoken, because he's been saying things already. It feels like that line was written with the assumption That would have been the first thing that Ben ever said this episode.
We're not friends.
Dear old friend. Sure they are. Ben didn't say they're not friends.
He doesn't need to be hallucinating Wayun to be insane.
Oh, come on, sis. Go be nice to him. He cast your arm. He
did
cleaned up
save
your
his
bout of
life.
nausea.
He could have hit him with the shrapnel.
Should probably be nice to your captor,
Yeah.
He didn't hit him with the shrapnel for the same reason that he didn't want to eliminate Earth. You have to make them see that it was wrong to oppose you in the first place, and then you kill them.
No, then they love you.
Only if necessary.
Only if necessary.
Only if necessary.
He doesn't want to kill Ben. He wants to make Ben think that Dukat was right.
And that he's a great guy. For not
Same that he
killing
wants
all
to do
those
with Kira.
Bajorans. That's an interestingly shaped canteen.
Ben, why are you such a jerk? What did he ever do to you, Ben? Well, I'm glad ration kits come with some spices. It's considerate.
Apparently, he knows what those are too.
How much pepper do you want, Ben? Like a dash of pepper? A couple pinches? How much pepper?
We didn't stir it though, come on.
No. I mean, Cisco could have even, stirred it himself by swirling it around. Come on, Ben. He just wanted one mouthful of pepper.
He just wants to boss him around, that's all.
Now, Ben, while Dukat is asleep, you need to pick up a big rock and
He
get
could just
rid
use
of
his
him.
arm.
Use
You could just
rock.
use the arm.
He's rock on man.
Yeah.
Thank God, big rock.
It is not safe to have him around. Just get rid of him. Summary execution. It's my time, Damar.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad to see Damar represents just Dukat and how he sees himself.
He has to know that he respects him.
Cardassia needs you, Dukat. You can save us.
And then you'll have more food.
More lieutenant to eat.
System offline.
That's not the way it should be. We want it to be online.
Pretty sure it said online earlier.
It said online on the other side, the one that's facing Ben.
Oh.
And the offline was hidden behind a panel. Oh, the Shakar government. Yeah, we never even see Shakar again, but he's still there, hanging out. Doing his job. Oh.
Imagine if he never leaned over.
He would just be here, chatting with Gul Dukat for weeks.
Why would he do that?
So
Why would he close the hatch?
Because he knows Ducat is lying, so he doesn't want Ducat to know that he knows.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
closing the hatch signals that he knows. Because he
Because
must
Ben's
have
the one
seen
that
it to
opened
close
the
the
hatch.
hatch.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
He accidentally bumped a thing and the hatch opened, so he closed it up again. And now Ben's going to
Almost like a
start to be
yogurt
more
bottle or
personable. It's like, no, we're friends for sure, Ducat. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to betray you.
This is the test.
Is there some... Is Ducat lying, or does he not realize?
what does it say?
Nope, looks all good in there.
So he's purposely ignoring the offline. Liar.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice of him to check if Ducat was lying, rather
He
than
could have
making
just
assumptions.
been unaware too.
Yeah.
So these guys are deep in a cave and there's fire going, right?
Yes.
That's actually really bad.
Lots
fine.
of smoke.
It's clean burning rocks.
It's not that, it's that it heats up the rocks above and can cause basically a rock slide inside the cave.
Yeah. Yep. You
Also,
don't wanna
that's gonna
have-
make it.
You have to keep in mind, it's not rocks, it's styrofoam. That's painted to look like a rock.
It's even better.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that.
It's an important detail.
So you're using a fork? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
using the fork.
He broke off one of the tines.
What were you saying about dripping?
Styrofoam.
Yeah. Polystyrene is pretty nasty stuff. Don't burn it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was fast.
Redistributes it. Oh, okay, thank God.
He's good. Oh, good old pretend to wake up.
Like, Ducat is really sick. He just wants to hang out with Cisco forever on this planet. Just like toying with his mind.
It's just lonely.
Well, if Cisco would just admit his respect for Ducat, they could get out of here.
Right.
Just has to admit it.
He's like the most vain dictator ever.
I still don't know why they're not in the shuttle. I'm surely it's well insulated, because they're in space with it.
Maybe there's a leak.
Do you need insulation in space?
Not as much as you would think.
It's quite difficult to conduct the heat outside.
Yeah.
You need insulation against the radiation. Which would probably work as heat insulation as well.
Maybe.
That they really are.
But what do they call them in space? We call them space blankets. You know, those things they wrap people up in if they're cold. What do they call them in space?
They call them space
blankets
because they're made for space.
Do they not just call them blankets?
Like in Chinese food, it's just food? In China?
Emergency blanket.
So you're saying Canadian bacon is just bacon in Canada?
Yeah.
So in France, that's just how they kiss all the time with tongue.
No,
Don't get me
it's
started
called
on
a
French
space
fries.
blanket because it was developed for use in space.
Specifically.
So why do we use them on Earth?
But he
Because the
works the same
insulation
way
is-
on Earth.
Because it's like thin as a piece of paper. It can
But
be
they're not
folded
for
up.
here, they're for space.
And if you're
They're
running,
multi-purpose.
Then why don't we call them multi-purpose blankets?
Jesus
or
Christ.
if you're running or you're dealing with like a humanitarian situation with people in the cold, you can pull out like a lot of blankets because they're folded up.
And you
they'll
give
keep
them the
people warm.
blanket and you say, hey, see if you were up there in the sky, way up there, this blanket would be perfect for you.
Okay, it's like I don't have a big comforter blanket for you, but I have this space age blanket.
It resists radiation. It captures heat very well. If you're
It's
using it on
aluminium
Earth, it's very
foil, right?
reflective, so you can
Basically.
like make a beacon out of the bloody thing.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan.
So, next question about space blankets. Why don't they have any right now? You think they may have some space blankets in the
Well,
ship?
apparently because they're not in space, so they're not allowed to use them. They have to stay on the shuttle till they're out, off the planet.
I think they established that it's already really hot on this planet, so a blanket would probably just make it worse.
And what's the fire for?
Atmosphere.
Yeah, light, cooking.
Man, he loves Kira so much that like her taunting him is always in his head.
I wouldn't say love.
He does.
That's what I would
It's a
say.
kind of love, possibly.
It's more a power fantasy obsession.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's more of an obsession.
Okay.
He has a very unhealthy relationship with literally every woman he ever meets, actually.
Yeah.
With Kai Wynn, with Kira, he has an unhealthy relationship with his own daughter, left her for dead. He murdered another woman in Jadzia. That's pretty unhealthy.
He impregnated one of his cult followers. Pretty unhealthy.
His wife
And
left
then
him because he took a bunch of mistresses. Actually, she only left him over the one mistress, but he had several. What are you doing, Nana? Is that how you laugh, Nana? Or are you acting right now?
I mean, this is what she does to him.
And he's on a first-name basis with his hallucinations as well. How come he's not on a first-name basis with Damar?
I mean, it's like Macbeth hallucinating the daggers.
Yeah.
He's just insane over here. Like the friends that they really are.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before Gul Dukat tries to kill someone.
Yeah.
Did you just run around and out?
Yep. Playing a bit of Ring Around the Rosie with Dukat. Wait, Ring Around the Rosie? Are you supposed to play Ring Around the Rosie around a rose? What's the Rosie?
No. During the bubonic plague, they had a rash or something that was like a pinkish rose color. So you had a ring around a central rash. So that was Ring Around the Rosie. And you kept posies in your pocket because they were flowers that warded away the plague. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Spoilers, it didn't ward it away.
No. Flowers do not, in fact, inhibit the plague.
No.
And the plague is still going around.
However,
There's a couple cases.
superstition does ward it away.
If you say so.
Right.
Yeah, we still get some cases of the plague every year. But it's fine, it's easily treatable. What have you done, Ben?
It's a tool time.
Oh, I was about to say, O'Brien seemed so disappointed that it wasn't them. He was just like, "Oh, I have to keep doing my job."
He just wanted Cisco to fall in love with him on this island forever, so they could be together.
Since Gilligan's Island, Star Trek edition.
As far as I'm aware, they can't, proliferate together.
Yeah,
don't
I
know
know,
that.
but
Love
Just
knows
saying.
no bound.
he
But he's
wanted
the
to
Cisco.
he wanted to spend the rest of his life trapped with Benjamin Cisco.
Look, now he really broke his arm.
Yeah, that was a big metal tube. That's bad. Generally speaking, it's impolite to hit people with big metal tubes. So I get the static, but why is the camera wobbling so much?
They just didn't have that stabilization filter on. You know the one?
But
Yeah,
is Kira talking through a handheld camera?
Okay, maybe she's working from home.
Through your
That could be
tricorder.
that.
She's holding out her smartphone in front of her and FaceTiming them? What's happening here?
Yeah.
Could they just get another starship? Or is the Defiant the only ship in range?
Of course
it's the only ship.
Yeah, it's the whole sector.
If Bashir was on a
It's
Klingon
one
ship,
ship
he'd be
versus
dead
the
now.
Dominion. Is he cleaning the blood off of the rod
Oh,
that he just
yeah.
used to beat? Mm.
Not off Cisco's
Wow.
face, just off the rod.
Wow.
Spare the rod, spoil the Cisco.
Wow.
Yeah, why do people keep bringing up all my crimes? Jeez.
Yeah, right after I beat you to a bloody pulp.
Look, that genocide was like 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Give me a
I'm a new
break.
man.
It was only one planet, guys.
MoveOn.org.
Yeah.
Cisco, you can't swear in my Star Trek. This is a family-friendly
Gosh.
show.
I mean, we never heard Picard say ass or anything.
No, not even once. Though some of Picard's swears there are in French, and if the swearing's in a language I personally don't understand, they don't count.
I'm pretty sure I remember him saying in the very first episode.
Yes.
He
Yes,
says
did.
shit, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's something that they dropped, like, what, after the first season?
Yeah.
He does it
This
like
isn't a
3
cop.
times in the whole entire series.
Yeah.
Now, that's fine, but what gets me is when people say that the swearing goes against Gene Roddenberry's utopian vision of the future. But most of the swearing happened while Gene Roddenberry was in control of the show.
Well, use your your script search and see how many times Picard says "merde"?
I did. I have a whole video on it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Huh.
I compiled all the swearing. Well, most of the swearing. I missed Riker's in the movie. I'll link it in the Discord for you. I know I missed one. I might have missed two. So that's every strong swear, and then there's a second video, which is a whole lot of other swears.
By the way, Gul Dukat is describing his humanitarian record here. So, I need.
The death rate
there
dropped
was
by
no-
20%.
There was no genocide.
There was definitely a genocide. He was ever so
Be
slightly
very
less
careful with
genocidal
words
than his
like that on
predecessor.
YouTube.
If I ever have to be a part of a genocide, I hope Gul Dukat's running it. He's such a sweet guy.
Deaths fell by 20%. You don't understand.
I cut quotas by 50%.
Ah, right.
200
Okay, that makes sense. Cut
200
the quotas,
suspected
less people
members
die.
executed.
200 for 200. That seems fair.
Suspected
Absolutely
members
fair.
of the resistance. Well, Wayne's
Man, how
right. The
fun
Dominion
would-
wouldn't have been so generous. The Dominion would have
Yeah.
killed everyone on the planet and left.
How fun would it have been for the actors to walk when the camera pans away? You have to walk off and watch the next person go in.
But I love how like Wayun supports him briefly for like a second. It's like, thank you, imaginary Wayun.
I imagine the panning shots, there's actual stops and cuts between the shots.
Oh,
Because
yes.
they don't want Kira like making footstep sounds as he's walking.
Yeah, it probably cuts.
Or maybe they just tiptoed. Who knows? Be very quiet.
What?
Oh, he's hyperventilating. That makes these bad.
He's starting to enunciate.
The Bajorans are. Now, he doesn't say opportunity. He says opportunity. Those are different.
Subtitles failed us here
Why did they fail us?
because it said opportunity.
No, the point is the enunciation. Opportunity versus opportunity. I mean, militarily and technologically probably, but culturally, what does that even mean?
I mean, that's
They break the
the
egg
opinion
open
of
and
every
they
conqueror ever.
It's
It means they
subjective.
Nonsensical,
understand
though it may be.
whether or not the pictures would be better if they were blue.
Yeah.
they were eating eggs after cutting the top open and sucking out the yolk.
Bruh.
Which are not even the yolk, the live creature inside.
Yeah.
Aspa eggs. The servant
So-
who cleaned your quarters.
What? That's not like you, is it?
No, no, no. How do you feel about their noses, Ducat?
About their ridges.
Ah, broken, wrinkled noses. Did Ducat rehearse this? Ducat may have lost it a little bit.
Tell us how you really feel.
Wait, what are you talking about? he
I hope Cisco is sarcastic there.
I'm pretty sure that's what it means. He's throwing back his words at him.
Now, Cisco, maybe you should hit him again with the pipe. And then maybe a third time. And just make
No.
sure he can't follow you.
Hey, no, that's not self-defense at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna... If you say so. We could save so many lives if Cisco just hit him with a pipe.
Use pipe on
Maybe
him.
just a little harder.
Look, he did fix his arm, and he didn't kill him. So
I'm not even convinced his arm is
It's a
broken.
pretty low bar. He didn't
What a
kill
nice
him.
guy.
And look, he took off Ducat's cast. He put on a new one.
No, I think Ducat knocked it off when he beat
Cisco senseless. Yeah.
Go senseless, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, what a jump.
Oh man.
You see, you should have hit him with the pipe again. Well, that's what you get, Cisco.
Poor hinges of this door.
Just put his head in the between the door
Just
and the frame.
Do it.
Let's do it.
Don't let your dreams be dreams, Ducat.
Ducat's problem. He can never let someone go.
Is this
Like-
the same set from the last Outpost?
I think it is.
Probably.
It looks almost the same.
Yeah, it's called Planet Hell. It's pretty common in Star Trek.
They
And-
fixed the skybox, though. So that's nice. Well, I bet Ben's really regretting not using the pipe. Come on, Ben. You can't... What is wrong with you?
Did you know Cardassians had their genitals in their knees?
Yeah.
That was a different alien from Rura Pente.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Cardassians.
It could be more than one alien.
Yeah, it could be more than one.
True.
I
Hope
love
his
this shot.
hallucinations are going
It's
with
like
him.
they're all there.
I wonder if they all jumped on with him.
Great again.
Great Bajor great again.
He's gonna make a wall and have the profits pay for it.
At the
There's a-
province.
The profits pay for it.
The
There's,
thief-
there's a
Do we have-
Frasier. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we have Jellico over here making the Cardassians pay for the wall, and we got the Cardassians over here making the province pay for the wall, and the
That's
province are over here making the
The Cisco.
Pod race.
Cisco pay
Oh
for
yeah,
the
the
wall.
Cisco paid for it.
Oh crap! And then it goes in a circle.
Maybe that's what the Dyson Sphere started out as. It was a space wall. And that's how you'd have to make a space wall. It's just a big sphere.
All right, right around the whole star.
There's a
Mhm.
Frasier episode where he's in a log cabin and all of his ex-wives are in his head, and then his mother also shows up, and he's analyzing his relationship to women. But this is pretty much Gold Ducat's version of that.
There's a clip on YouTube from I think it's the Emmys, where the Frasier cast is on the bridge of Voyager.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Like his dad is sitting in Janeway's chair or
His
something, and he's
brother's
like,
in the helm. Yeah.
It's very odd. Well, you know, Cisco, when you find something that's truly evil, maybe you should hit it with a pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pipes and
Solve
The
that
galaxy
problem.
would thank you.
Use pipe on evil.
Yeah.
and then everything would go back to gray.
Yeah, true.
Because then Benjamin would be
He's-
gray.
push him up a cliff.
Megalomaniacal is definitely the word for him because this man just loves the power and the worship from like being the dictator of the world.
Just admitted while rationalizing himself that killing a whole race is more reasonable than trying to reason with them.
Yeah.
Cisco does that
is
thing
the
that
absolute
that a lot of
definition of
heroes do,
megalomaniacal.
where they have the big villain at their mercy and they're like, no, if I killed you, it would just make me like you. There would be the same number of killers in the world. Except they're
Right.
totally fine with killing so many other people to get to the villain in the first place.
You have to set up
How
a
about
boss
those war
fight
crimes,
so
Cisco?
that you
Why
can
can't we
kill
just
all
have
the...
just one more
And then
war
they
crime?
never
Come on.
think like, well, if I don't kill you and then the villain goes on and kills more people, aren't I like indirectly responsible for it?
Only if you knew that the villain was going to do that, which Cisco does. So yeah, he's totally responsible. Good job, Cisco.
I mean, to be fair,
But then we wouldn't have another
I
season.
don't think he
of Star
wasn't
Trek.
trying to kill Ducat. I think he just wasn't successful.
Thank
should have
for
hit
the
him again.
episode. I'm out.
Yes,
Have a good day.
but he didn't know that.
All right, 1 minute to the final episode for today. Who mourns for Morn? Which is slightly less weird than Who mourns for Adonias from TOS.
It's Adonis.
Yeah.
Is it? That doesn't
Yes.
sound
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's
Adonis
Adonis,
is
the
the name
Greek
of
god
the
of
Greek
beauty.
god.
The Greek god of beauty.
No, I just looked it
And
up. It
he's-
says there's an A in it.
Oh, okay.
Isn't
says
Adonis the son of
I mean,
Apollo?
maybe
or-
it's pronounced Adonis, but it definitely says
No.
Adonais.
No,
Yes,
it's
it's pronounced Adonis.
no, that's not. It's Adonias, and that's someone different. Adonis is with the IS.
I'm
Anyway,
looking it up. Yeah, Adonis is
Right.
IS, not AIS.
So there's a difference?
There's a
Yeah,
difference.
So who's Adonias?
Adonais is from a poem from the 1800s. Everybody
See, I
get
learned
ready to
Theo
press
out of
play.
town today.
In 5, 4, 3,
Oh.
2, 1, play.
I thought the
Didn't think
episode
I'd be
was
lear-
Adonis.
Cool.
I didn't think I'd be learning about Greek mythology today, but look at me.
Did you know that Apollo
Hey,
was
Morn.
actually an alien? What? Why do you even take the shipment of beets, Morn, if you're not going to use them?
He's not even eating
My
it.
God.
Right now.
So here's a question. He's had a holographic Morn. He's had a holographic waiter. Does he
Yep.
just have hollow emitters in the whole bar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
So
Yeah.
here's an idea. What if when somebody wins at Dabo, he gives them holographic latinum, and then when they leave, the latinum just disappears in their bag, and they don't realize it till they get back to their quarters?
I mean, he might want to do that. I don't know if that would end well for him.
Well, that
Just
hologram
saying.
of Morn didn't have but no, he has holographic waiters who do have substance.
Right.
Hmm.
Correct.
Can holograms that have physical, like, substance have weight? Because they're
He's
just force fields,
just now
right?
he's saying he couldn't afford an interactive holo projector, but he had the holographic waiters already, right?
yeah, and then when he wanted Garrick to kill him because he was scared of Brunt, he choked a holographic Quark at the other end of the bar from behind, and his face planted onto the plate.
That I assume was in the holo suite.
No, that was at the other end of the bar.
I just
And then-
assumed they did a holo suite recreation of the bar for that, but
Okay.
I don't know.
The first time I saw
That's
this
a guess.
episode, it successfully gaslit me into thinking that Morn actually did have a lot of speaking roles on this show, and I was just an idiot.
Funny.
What do you mean? He does have a lot of speaking roles.
Well, yes, I mean, he does.
He never shuts the fuck up. I'm sorry.
Swearing on
Swearing
my Star Trek
my
stream?
Star Trek stream.
It's more likely than you think.
You know who hasn't had you know who hasn't stopped by today? Mark Twain.
Oh no. No.
So, what kind of ship did they find Cisco in? What kind of ship is the Defiant?
Defiant class.
Defiant class? Warship?
No.
A warship!
It's a
A
star
wall
ship.
ship.
Starship.
A starship. What registry would
She
that
has
be?
teeth.
What?
Triangle ship.
It's the same triangle.
Is it a
Hello.
ship or is it a boat?
It's definitely a ship. Because if you say it's a boat, that's insulting. And I only learned that from watching Wooster and Jeeves. When
I learned that from Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
What's the
and-
difference between a boat and a ship?
Nothing.
Um,
Pride.
submarines are boats because ships are targets.
Okay.
That's interesting.
The only difference,
n-
technically, between a ship and a boat is pride.
A ship is a big boat. A boat is not a formal ship.
What is a boat?
A boat is like a canoe.
No, that's a canoe.
I mean, just think of a floating
Well, I think
bathtub.
people who have
That's a
canoes
boat.
can't have pride in their ships.
This is my ship. They point at their canoe.
Gregory Eitzen. Wait, who's Gregory Eitzen? Is he... I can imagine his face, but I can't place the name of the role. Let me look him up. He shows up in Star Trek a few times, though. He plays a captain, a Vulcan captain in Enterprise. He plays a doctor in DS9, or not in DS9, in Voyager.
Jadzia just implied that she made a pass at Morn and Morn rejected her.
Yeah.
Well, Morn's got standards. Jadzia
Yes.
doesn't live up to them.
Yeah.
She's not good enough. Besides, Morn and Captain Baudet have a long-standing rivalry, so that would just feel weird.
They do?
Sure, now they do.
Yep.
Captain Baudet is the one with the see-through skull, right?
Yeah, the Galamite. And his brain
Worf
is
is just-
twice the size of yours or mine. I know, I've seen it.
Yeah.
So, something that I always found interesting about ships, going back to the ship discussion, large ships often have machine shops on board to make replacement parts because you could be out at sea
Sure. Yeah.
and stranded otherwise
Like the Enterprise.
if you can't make replacement parts.
Yeah.
I just
And,
found it fascinating that
yeah.
you know they'd have a full machine shop. Right
I do
there.
like how the NX-01, because they don't have proper replicators, they do actually have a machine shop as well. And so do the freighters in Enterprise.
That's cool.
They show up a couple times where they just have to make components. Why are there so many Klingons here at the funeral? Do they care? Or do they just want the drinks?
Worf is not
Morn.
only a bad father, but he's also a terrible partner. It's like Jadzia just has to mention someone in her past, and he just like starts attacking her for the next 5 minutes.
Sleevak.
Yeah.
If it's from past lives, she probably shouldn't bring it up because that's kind of like against the whole, what do you call it thing?
The
Trill
taboo.
code.
Yeah.
They can talk about past lives, can't they?
Yeah.
They can,
Are you talking
but
about
it's just not advised.
reassociation?
Yeah.
Well, no, Captain Baudet wasn't from a past life. Captain Baudet was from this life.
Was Baudet pre or post Dax?
That
It was
what?
during Jadzia's
Dax is
lifetime.
hundreds of years old. What do you mean?
As in before Dax was inserted into Jadzia?
Pre or post joining?
Yeah.
Captain Baudet, they met on the station, I believe. So that was Jadzia, Dax, and Baudet.
At Tanagra.
Okay. Now, I don't think
Dax and Baudet on the ocean.
if Dax and Baudet Tanagra is a thing, and we know Captain Picard had his Picard and Dathan at Tanagra, what was happening off screen
No, it was
between
Eladril.
Picard and Dathan?
It was Picard and Dathan at Eladril.
But it's the same situation as Darmok and Jalad at
Yeah,
Tanagra.
they were both at Tanagra, speaking metaphorically.
Yes, Darmok at Tanagra, Jalad on the ocean, Jalad at Tanagra, Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra, the beast of Tanagra, Uzani his army.
That was
His
really
arms
long
wide.
eulogy. Oh my gosh.
What's that cup with a hairball in it? That looks like a, what do you call it?
bird's nest.
It's decorative. Don't worry about it. Everything to his
There's
bartender.
Impala.
He always paid his bills on time. All right, so what are his possessions? What did he own? He owned a mud bath?
He was a lucrative trader.
Was he?
A painting of a matador.
Wow. Nothing. Literally zero. Wow, he must really trust Morn if he gave Morn credit. If he had a bar bill, didn't have to pay for his drinks straight up front. Wow.
I mean, if you're there every day, you may as well just settle it at the end of the month.
Rotten beets.
Oh,
What is that smoke coming out of them? Is that just the rot?
spores probably.
Yeah,
I
spores
feel
and
like they should be
steam.
contained.
I wonder how they achieve that effect, the
So,
fog machines.
Maybe they just
Yeah.
put like some dry ice under the top layer
Yeah.
of beets.
Oh yeah, there you go, dry ice.
yeah.
Ooh, French.
Of course. French? That's a dead language. Is this a canon break? Is this a violation of continuity that someone speaks French?
Ah,
Mud.
Bonjour! Crazy gibberish!
It's his mud bath. Oh, a matador.
Chocolate milk.
Oh, chalky milk.
Is it excellent for the skin to sleep in mud?
That sounds. Chocolate milk sounds disgusting to sleep in.
I think you'd end up as soup if you slept in mud.
This is
I think
Morny?
that by some type of intergalactic law, that makes her part of his property, right?
I mean, I don't know about
Ferengi law.
intergalactic law, but I'm sure in Ferengi society it does.
Because if you're getting married, then you have a marriage contract. So I assume the contract transfers to the heir of the estate. In this case, Quark. But they wouldn't have a Ferengi contract because he's not a Ferengi. He's Lurian. And I don't know what she is.
She's alluring. That's what she is.
Ocampa.
Gonna get
Fair.
mud on his sleeves. Come on.
I hope she's not Ocampan. That'd mean she's like 4.
She's generic head ridge race number 431.
Those. This probably
Species
indicates that I've
431.
watched too much Star Trek, but those ridges look familiar. I feel like we've seen her species before, with the slight, like, 3 lines on her head.
Oh yeah.
What's her name? Let me look up Star Trek Mourn's wife. Laurel.
Ex-wife.
Species unnamed. That's not helpful.
I like how
Wait,
like
it's not
way too
going.
small this appears to be. Yeah, where's it going?
They have a drain. Goes out into space. Wait, that's an actual hot tub.
Yeah. I
It
thought they
has
just
a-
built a ring. Yeah.
You
It
could
has,
probably
it's not a
get a
spigot.
probably get an old hot tub off Craigslist nowadays for next to nothing.
Yeah,
But
but it
is
has
the
other
meta
people's
over?
germs in it. So
Well, nothing a little chlorine wouldn't
I heard
fix.
they
True.
quarantined the hot tubs to their own section.
yeah.
But is it working?
See, like when she said Morn and I had so many good mornings in here, I definitely would not ever get inside that bathtub. Like
It cleaned itself.
okay. Kind of disgusting. Also, she came up from like bubbling below.
Certainly
she's gonna
a
take it all
scene
and
that they could
kill you.
include in the show. This is rather overt.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Morn would have wanted it that way.
Suggestive content in my Star Trek?
Impossible.
Never.
You scanned for bricks of latinum? But how much is the painting worth, Quark? You haven't even tried to sell it. You know, no, now that I'm thinking about what happens later in the episode, I have a lot of questions about how Morn actually pays his bills. Does he have an exchange somewhere?
Ryan,
I'm trying.
could you put in your will that you know,
No.
God forbid if something happens to you, could I get your 3090 graphics card?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
My 3090 graphics card will be buried with me.
They could
Or
bury you
cremated.
in the 3090's graphics card.
I haven't actually decided. Cremated or buried with me, that's fine. Either way.
They could cremate you and use the 3090 as an urn.
Because, you know, I like to think of myself as your Quark.
It does feel odd that my computer's graphics card is the single most expensive thing I own.
Oh, come on.
You know, other people
I mean,
have
it
Do you own a
diamond
vehicle?
rings,
I do, but not an
Rolexes.
expensive vehicle. I own a basic,
Vehicles
it gets me
are-
where I'm
But
going
do you-
vehicle.
Are you renting? Are you in
Yeah.
an apartment? Okay. Well, you have kidneys,
I do. I do have kidneys, as far as I'm aware.
so
Well done.
I mean, like, the sum of my possessions other than the card is greater than the cost of the card, but it's the single object that's most expensive. Especially with the current markup. I could get like $3,000 for that.
Yep.
I think the 3080 was a better return on investment because those are going for like 3 times their price, and 3090s are only going for like 150% their price.
Oh no. However, that only matters if I'm intending to sell.
Right.
Right.
Oh, was it nice? Oh, at least he's friendly. He's a nice guy.
They look like Uridians. They just colored the mask yellow.
I
One
don't
by the
think that-
window always sounded a little like Seth Green to me.
That's a big loan. How much? That seems like it'd be really hard to get approved for a 1,000 brick loan. That's a lot of money. Oh, they shook hands on a $10 million loan.
You know, I've heard that Quark's bar earns about 8 bars of gold pressed platinum a day. It feels like 1,000 bars is only, it's not even a year's
Well, it's 1,000 bricks.
worth. Oh, okay, yeah, bricks. How many
I don't know.
bars in a brick?
I know there's a conversion table out there. Let me find it. Slips, strips, bars, and bricks. It's nice of the Ferengi to make it rhyme. Brick, brick, brick. Well, it says that Memory Alpha says that Quark's lifetime savings was 100 bricks and 600 bars. So I would guess that
Yeah.
a brick is 1,000. So 1,000, so that would be 1,000,000 bars.
All right, and since you're only getting 8 bars a day,
1,000,000
that's 125,000 days.
divided by. I mean, we don't know how many days are in a Bajoran year, but it's
342
fine.
years of
365.25 accounting for leap years. Yeah, 342.23 years. So plenty of time. If Quark lives to 343 years old, he might have to start his business again. Except he doesn't have to pay expenses on the bar if he just sells it. Then he gets the cost of the bar added to his account. Yeah, just plug it straight into your computer. That seems safe. Never plug in strange USB devices. It's a bad idea.
Especially ones that you find at fast food restaurant toilets. Those are the worst.
Have you ever found a USB drive at a fast food
Has
restaurant
anyone-
toilet?
No, but
Has
I've
anyone
heard
else
of
ever
them.
thanked the computer?
No one thanks Cardassian computers because they're so sassy.
He can be transparent if he wants to be.
He's usually opaque, though.
Usually opaque. I don't know if I'd call that a locker, Odo.
I mean, they're usually small. When you go to a bank and you rent a locker, it's like a little drawer.
Safety deposit box.
Thank you.
They have different
Well,
sizes.
what's in it, Quark?
Yeah.
Is there any latinum in that, or is it just gold?
And the smallest size is this kind of like mailbox kind of shape.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell him that. Do they have taxation? Was he hiding his wealth from taxation?
The Ferengi don't have taxes yet.
But Morn's not a Ferengi.
Does
They
the
don't have
Federation
official
have
taxes,
taxes?
but they have bribes.
Yeah, but his money's in gold pressed latinum, which is interesting.
And I guess the Federation doesn't have taxes because they don't have money. Except the times that they do have money.
Hey,
She came from the mud. Don't do this in the hallway. Get a room.
Dax in my Star Trek?
Not as uncommon as you think. Now, okay, so she pickpockets him, right?
Probably. Almost certainly.
Where did she? Where
I
did she
think she
put it?
does. I've seen this one fairly recently.
She probably just hides it behind her back.
I just don't
Except she's
remember
not
if she does
holding
it
it right
now or
now.
later.
Right. Where did she put it?
Well, we're about to find out. Oh, no, we're not. It's just going to come up from off screen. I mean...
Oh, he jumped a little higher than he should have there.
What did he do? Did he bump the ceiling?
No, I'm just saying that the bar of Latinum would have weighed him down and...
Oh, good observation.
He should have noticed.
Just write it down
Just-
again, Quark. Oh, it's okay.
I
It
like that they
wasn't a
use
very good
tread
pension
plate.
anyway.
Like they use the tread plate on the wall because, you know, safety.
You know, those ridges going down the center of their faces. Those are the Cardassian neck ridges. They just glued them onto their face.
Maybe
I'm pretty
they
sure
did.
that's the same prosthetic. At least they're trying to be polite, though. They're very nice hitmen. Write it down, Quark. Piece of paper.
He's got it memorized.
Paper can be stolen.
Oh, here he is. Gregory Aitzen. That's him. Yep, Doctor on Voyager, Vulcan Captain on Enterprise. He was also an investigator in DS9. He investigated Dax.
He's the evil president in 24.
Wasn't he
I probably will have the 24 role stuck in my head for him.
Lurian Security. That's where we get the name from. That's quite a lottery. Morn was a prince who spent every single hour of every single day in your bar.
Is Quark just acting, or does he actually believe all these people?
I think he believes him specifically. Because he already rejected the supposed bribe of however many bricks. Yeah, Quark believes him. For another few minutes, at least. Just leave. Just get on your ship and go. Laurel killed Morn. Just everybody showing up at once. Gregory's having a bit of it. This is supposed to be a quick, easy, in and out job. Why does it gotta just get more complicated? Why does it never go smooth? Just leave. Don't wait for them to get back. Just leave. So I assume Quark has to submit the will and a death certificate, proof of identification. Or I could just call them and say, hey, give me the 1,000 bricks.
Morn rhymes with warm.
Keep
Kinda.
it warm for Morn.
Everyone's all depressed about it. How? I don't understand everyone's love of Morn. I know he's supposed to be off screen being this big personable guy, but come on.
He's the mascot.
Why
Of
does
the bar?
He's a mascot.
He
He's a
is.
the
pillar of the
station.
community.
And he has done things on screen. He was that thing with the ribbon at the end of
Yes, the courier. I've known him for years. I trust him.
Mm-hmm. You should really invest in a better lock.
He probably will. He's gonna have 1,000 bricks of platinum to work with. In fact, if he has 1,000 bricks, he probably just shouldn't live here anymore. Just go somewhere else. Okay. That's such helpful advice. Thank you, Mr. Greenman.
Do we ever see this species again?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
It reminds me of that species that has that arch over their mouth that connects like their nose and their bottom chin. It seems like it would make it really hard to eat.
It looks like the same
They're
sort of
dinosaur
outfit
people.
template. Yeah, as the dinosaur people from Voyager.
They're saurians.
Benzites.
Reminded me a I mean, no, it's not. It doesn't really remind me of the Suliban.
Okay. He might be a little dim, but he figured it out in the end.
Oh.
But our time is finally near, and I will see my dream come alive at last. And I will touch the sky.
No!
They're not gonna hold me down no more.
Do you have faith?
Of the heart, and I'm going where the heart will take me. But do you have faith? Is that a no? That sounds like a no. Okay, nobody has faith. I'm the only one with faith. Mother's Day heist.
So the question is, do they have Mother's Day on other planets?
Apparently, yes. Absolutely.
So is there like a alien version of Hallmark to create all these holidays?
Morn, that wasn't very kosher of you. You had an agreement, Morn. It's better than shooting each other. Yes, you do. You need him to take delivery. They're not just gonna put it in the cargo bay and leave. He needs to be there.
Mm-hmm. Well, his thumbprint needs to be there.
Well, I can't just walk in with his hand.
Well, you don't need the whole hand, just the thumb. Seems logical to me.
Think things through, Nask. Relax.
But he was the one who just said we didn't need him anymore. Now he's saying we do need him. I'm getting mixed messages.
Yeah, these people just don't get greedy. That's what 200 bricks per person. That's more than enough to live off of. You're gonna be fine. You don't need the full 1,000 bricks.
It's not even that much. Like they're not losing that much, right? It's only 50 bar or bricks difference.
No, Nask. Gee, what is he doing? That is not good gun safety. What is wrong with you,
No,
Hayden?
his fingers don't still on the trigger. They have terrible trigger discipline throughout the entire series.
I really hope
Every
that's actually a
series.
fake gun. I mean, obviously it's a fake
Impact
gun in
Nor
real
comes
life,
to
but
mind.
in continuity. Jesus.
No, it's a real phaser or disruptor
Ah, I see.
in universe.
Oh, in universe. Well, that's different.
This is when he poisons them all.
Good idea. Doesn't even need to poison him, just needs to make him sick for a few days, unconscious.
No, you need to actually kill them, otherwise they're gonna come back.
Well, just have Odo put him in a cell.
For what? Statute of limitations has run out. Odo can't hold them.
Well, they could hold him on charges relating to what they tried to do to Quark. Or what they're doing to Quark.
Why are you closed?
Why does he even care? Does he want to drink?
Listen, Odo's a
No, he just
functioning
has the
alcoholic.
spidey sense thing.
He knows something's wrong.
And Quark is surreptitiously giving him all the information he needs to put things together. So this prop here for the cargo container, it shows up later on as a drilling machine in Ezri's family's mine.
Okay. The one that's
And they-
sabotaged?
The one that's sabotaged, yeah.
It looks oddly Ferengi in design, more than Bolian.
Mm.
How much Bolian design do we get to see?
The only
It may
Bolian
have shown up
designs we
as
see
other
are on
things.
top of people's heads.
Also, why are none of them Bolian?
I don't know. Maybe Laurel's Lysepian. Do we ever see a Lysepian?
This is
Maybe the Dream
uncomfortable.
guys are Lysepian.
No. What are you doing? Yeah, these people are getting greedy. Just take the 200 bricks and go.
Now, I have to assume that the density of gold bars would protect you slightly from
Probably.
a phaser set to kill.
I mean, phasers can't even get through like a small wooden table. The cold's gonna be fine.
So all he needs to do is get in that perfectly made notch. Does that look like 1,000 bricks to you?
I guess we could stop and count.
We have to figure out how deep.
How many
the
stacks?
rows
What's
go.
the average of a stack?
The width.
Well, we can see it's
yeah.
4
We could
deep.
actually. We can actually
it's-
get exactly the count.
It's 5 deep and 6 across.
Yeah, there's no way there's 1,000.
And that looks like, let's say 15 to be generous. If it's 15 to a stack, that would be 450 bricks. And there's more to the side, so maybe like 600? Actually, maybe there's more than 15.
So if those bars were made out of gold, they'd be like 30 pounds each, 35 pounds each or so. And he's just picking them up like, "Whoop."
So if every stack is 25 tall, that would come out to about 1,000. There might actually be 1,000 in there.
Really?
25 tall, I don't think we're even close.
I'm gonna go back and count the height.
Freeze frame it, yeah.
It's a Klingon. Oh, it's Morn.
Worf, you lack Quark, you lack honor.
Oh, well, I'm glad to see that Morn is okay. You know,
Morn!
Morn! He's our favorite Lurian. He's the only Lurian until Discovery Season 3, but he's our favorite Lurian all the same. Well, say something, Morn. What do you have to say in your defense? Morn? Okay, so how confident are you in that? What was it, 6 or 8 bars a day?
That's quoted on screen, I think, 8 bars a day.
8 bars a day. And that's 1,000 bricks to or 1,000 bars to a brick.
We think. So now he says this is 1,000 bricks worth, or 100 bricks worth.
So that should be divided by 365.25, 34 years worth of income.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Let's see. What does he say? Bars or bricks when he?
If it's bricks, it's 34 years. 100 bricks worth.
You could retire on that.
Now, when Morn needs to pay for something, how does he actually exchange this latinum that's in his stomach? Does he go to the bank and vomit it up?
I think he goes to the bank, yeah.
Wouldn't that be super dense too? Wouldn't that be like super
Probably.
heavy?
We don't know how dense latinum is, but
Don't you think like
how
the
strong?
transporter operator would notice Morn has like a pouch of
Morn's
latinum inside of
loaded.
him?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they say latinum can't be replicated, but apparently it can be transported. Actually, I don't think we ever see Morn be transported. Maybe it just isn't. Maybe he avoids it.
Yeah.
Like Barkley
Or McCoy.
Mm.
All right, well,
There's
that's
a lot of interesting holes.
So let's see, what's happening next week? Next week, TNG's Aquiel with Geordi's not shapeshifter girlfriend, who he kind of stalks for a bit, but it's understandable stalking this time. It's understandable stalking, but he probably should have mentioned it when they met. After that is Face of the Enemy, where Troy's a Romulan. Then Tapestry, where Picard relives his youth.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Good episode.
And then next week, DS9 starts with Far Beyond the Stars, which we all know what that is. One Little Ship, where the Defiant is tiny. And Honor Among Thieves, where O'Brien goes undercover for the Orion Syndicate. All fantastic episodes. So yeah, next week looks good.
Yeah.
All around. Because we're into good Star Trek now. We're going to be so disappointed once these series are done, because then we have to transition immediately back into season 1 of a different show. And season 1 is never good.
Oh, yeah. Nope.
But that's okay.
Unless it's season 1 of
I guess the
Enterprise.
original season.
I do really like season 1 of Enterprise.
Real.
Really, it's season 1 of Voyager that I'm dreading. Because season 1 of Voyager, I kind of actually hated the show.
Yeah.
It had a very, very strong opener, though, as opposed to the other Star Treks.
Yeah, the opener was okay. But the rest of season 1, and then, like, most of season 2, I kind of hated the show. I'm a lot more lenient to it these days now that I've seen the whole thing. But... And it does get good, like the other Star Treks do. In fact, it has some of the best episodes.
Grows the beard.
It grows the beard.
Yes.
But
like
season 1 I'm
bangers
kind of
like
dreading.
Tuvix, for example. Great episode.
I mean, Tuvix is actually pretty alright. I like Tuvix. I don't know about if I like the Tuvix character, but the Tuvix episode is pretty good. Janeway is a murderer. 100%.
Yes.
But that's it for today. We're done here. Go away.
Alright.
The higher.
See you guys next week.
Why?
Starship.